Today's video is about someone who works at the UN. A young woman. Today let's see what it's like working at the UN. The experience. Hello everyone. Oh right, I'm Yi Zi. Today at Xiao Zhang's invitation, I'll share my work and life here. We're located right here on the world map. We're at the center of the world, the real center. This side's blocked. The World Bank is on this floor. Yes, the World Bank's office. Upstairs, there's also ILO and UNHABIT. The Population Fund and WHO. What's UNICEF, the Children's Fund, and the African Development Bank? UNDP is on the third floor. I used to think the UN was just an organization with many departments. But now I see there are way more. Yes, each agency has its own mission and mandate that are different. Djibouti is Africa's second smallest country. But here it's like small but mighty. For the UN agencies here. On the left is UNDP, the UN Development Program, and on the right is UN Coordination. You just coordinate. No, I'm with the Development Program. These photos show the UNDP office here for local development in areas like fisheries and agriculture and small micro-enterprises or personal economic development. Can you share? How did you get a job at the UN? When I was doing my master's, my research focused on African tech development. I studied engineering management. After getting to know the UN, I wanted to go in this direction. So after graduating, I studied international relations. So naturally after graduating, started as an intern and now work here. At first, after graduating, I wanted to experience Africa. Now it's become a deep island experience. By the way, Yezi, where did you go to school in China? I went to Chongqing University. Chongqing University. Right, you're from Chongqing yourself. So for working at the UN, are there any strict requirements? Like education and major, generally speaking, with a bachelor's degree. You can apply to the UN, at least for internships, those kinds of positions. But within the UN system, there's a preference for certain degrees. For administrative roles or HR positions, they might not care about your major. No strict requirements. But for technical roles, they'll specify preferred majors and experience. How long have you worked here? Almost a year and a half. How do you like it here? From two angles. First, personal life. It's a remote area. Lack of supplies is the biggest issue. As someone from Chongqing, you might wait a long time for certain foods, and there's limited Chinese food. Another big issue is power outages. I've gotten used to the blackouts. Honestly, as a regular person, working at the UN is actually pretty interesting. I've thought about it myself, but I didn't think I was qualified. Back in my first year of grad school, joined a training with the Chinese UN Association. Their training. That was my first introduction to the UN. It really inspired me. It even changed me. My career path after that. Though it seemed impossible, but I think newcomers can gradually get on this path. Language requirements are pretty high, right? Yeah, depends on your office. Before I came, it was all English. After I came, everyone in the office spoke Mandarin. Even meetings outside the office or office training sessions. You get limited info at first. You're just there to show up. Yeah, it really affects your work. But it might guide you. Spanish speakers often go to Latin America. English and French are most widely used. So if you work here, do you live with colleagues? Or find your own housing? What about expenses? Does the UN cover that? No, for my previous position, it was funded by a scholarship. They gave me basically a scholarship. After getting that scholarship, you had to handle everything else. So now you're a full employee. Now my office pays me directly. But you have to handle everything yourself. They just pay you, not your living costs. Yeah, you use your salary to find housing. Can you share? What's your pay like? UN salaries are all public online. Yeah, it's pretty transparent. Definitely higher than back home. Not really that much higher, but work-life balance is way better. Having worked at the UN for so long, have you had any moments that were really impactful or left a deep impression? Back in November last year, We surveyed high-risk HIV groups. Our subjects were in 3 groups. First, sex workers. Second, gay men. And third, all prisoners. Surveying sex workers. Some were kids, teens in uniforms. And older workers, 50s or 60s. Before the survey, we'd ask sensitive questions, like if money was involved. Only if they met the criteria, we'd do the questionnaire. So that was pretty. Was it real or just for money? Yeah, just for money. And something harder to accept. Condom prices here. You see them in stores. Probably 300 to 400 dobra. I hadn't noticed. During the project, I went to the store with colleagues and saw the price. Here, they don't use condoms much. Yeah, habit. They don't use them much, just their habit. Second, they can't afford them. 300 to 400 local currency, like $100, roughly. I don't know their rates. But a consultant who came said, for sex workers, it's sad. They earn little money from sex, then spend it on condoms to protect themselves. In this process, in this cycle, they don't improve economically. While interviewing, we did HIV tests and TB tests too, rapid tests for common illnesses. Many had never been tested. Some were positive, but didn't know. Like the prison we visited, over 200 inmates, 8 or 9 positive. Personal growth. And you've noticed a problem, right? Right, in Africa. Just like you said, some minors, some little kids, they have kids early. Early pregnancies common. You just mentioned it. Small companies, or social media. More and more people joining the UN. Our fans might think, as someone experienced, give some advice on getting into the UN or how to improve to boost their chances. Not really experienced, just starting out, less than a year. My experience is start as an intern. To experience the UN is what you hope it is. Or through NGOs. NGO activities. Build your resume. Convince employers you're qualified. That's it for today. Thanks to Yezi. See you next time. Bye. If you work here, Monday to Friday, 1:30 p.m. 4.5 days. That's pretty good.